In this video, I will be discussing about Cipher feedback mode. Cipher feedback mode, also known as CFB, is a mode of operation for block cipher. CFB uses block cipher as a component for a random number generator. Similar to cipher block chaining, CFB makes use of an initialization vector, IV. The output of the encrypted ciphertext block is XORed with the current plaintext block to produce the current ciphertext block. The XOR operation covers the plaintext patterns. The plaintext cannot be explicitly worked on unless blocks from the beginning or end of the ciphertext are retrieved. Now let's see how encryption is done with CFB. The initialization vector will be used in the encryption process where the IV can be in any bits depending on the user and encryption method used. Following each step, the S bits of plaintext will be encrypted where the S bits will be determined by the user. The encryption process starts off with the first input block, which is the IV. The input block will be encrypted to produce the output block. Let's look further into output block. The output block consists of two blocks, being the select block and discard block. Basically, the leftmost S bits are selected while the rest are discarded. The selected S bits will then be XORed with the first S bits of the plaintext, P1, to produce the ciphertext, C1. Now, the first S bit's ciphertext is obtained. Next, to obtain the next S bits of the ciphertext, the next input block needs to be retrieved. The input block from the previous step will be shifted left by S bits, and then used as the leftmost bits of the new input block. The previous ciphertext, C1, will then be reused as the rightmost bits of the new input block. Now, the new input block is obtained. Like the previous step, the new input block will be encrypted to obtain the output block. The S bits of the output block and the next S bits of the plaintext, P2, will be XORed to obtain the next S bits of ciphertext, C2. The process will then be repeated until all the ciphertext is obtained. Now, let's look at decryption with CFB. Decryption is similar to encryption. However, the placings of the plaintext and ciphertext needs to be swapped. And that is how decryption is done. Now, let's talk about the advantages of CFB. Decryption can be parallelized. In CFB, encryption is also non-deterministic, meaning it hides any patterns the plaintext may contain. CFB has no padding. It also has a good recovery because a bit error only affects one bit. Next, on to the disadvantages. Encryption can't be parallelized. CFB is prone to bit flipping. Bit flipping is known when an attacker can change the ciphertext in a way would result in a predictable change in plaintext. Other than that, random stream can't be computed in advance. There is also no pre-computation of the key stream. That is all about Cipher feedback mode. Thanks for tuning in.